Do you want your vintage vinyl covers to look this good? Watch to see how. A pair of tweezers is always going to be helpful in this since it's very tedious. Something to cut with, a roller to flatten everything, some Mod Podge, a little bit of UV resin, a heat gun, and some thin, almost paper-like cardboard. This one's a little bit better. So what I've done so far is clean the cover with mild hot water and a little bit of soap. So everything's nice and clean. And what I've done already is put a elbow or a brace in here as this was opening up. So I've already done that part, so let's do the top together. I don't really know where I got this stuff, just kind of came across it and I was like, hey, this will be great for fixing vinyl covers. So we got this funny little flap here that needs to come on top of this part, but we're gonna make our little hinge first. Fold it. So you have your little elbow hinge deal. And do make sure one side is completely straight, as this will be right on the inside edge, right there. All right, then we take some of our Mod Podge. And we'll get one side painted up. Really make sure you're getting that Mod Podge right to that edge, because that edge needs to stay. Just fold it back over so that we can get it in here. This is where you're going to want your tweezers again. So I want this edge to go underneath that print part. Get that right to the edge. And make sure to get it flat and get that Mod Podge everywhere. Try and kind of push this edge out just a little bit more, because I want it right on that cover edge so that we can match all of the loose paper up right to this edge. I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge under here, under this flap here. Get it on top of there. Okay. And then take your tweezers, flip that paper around. Just like that. Okay, so I've given this a moment to dry. So you can see we're making progress. So to make sure I don't get any Mod Podge actually on the inside of the cover, I'm going to take a thicker piece of cardboard. Slide this in here, right in between our little elbow. Ooh, there it goes. And we can get some Mod Podge. Start filling this area in. Really make sure to get on your inside edge of your elbow as well, because this is where the record will slide in and out. We'll push that down. Get a little bit of a roll. Okay, let's see how that's doing. There you go. We got one piece together. So we do have a little bit of an inner tear here, right in there. So let's get that fixed. This one's going to be tricky because it's obviously way into the sleeve. Doing pretty much the same thing. Get your little cardboard piece. I think what I'm going to have to do is guide it down with the tweezers. Let's try that. Get size my card. Shoot those hair glue edges. All right, let's try it. Okay, it's down there. And just to make sure that that does not glue to itself, I am going to put this in here. With these little torn edges here, you're going to carefully lift that paper. Kind of bend it up just a little bit. Don't break it now. And then what I do to get the glue in there is just use a little needle. Using a brush is going to get it absolutely everywhere, so. So then what I'm going to do is just use the tweezers again to just push this down. I think that's looking pretty decent. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. All right, so another problem area on the side here. Same process again, just doing a smaller piece for this side. This part is always so scary when you have to open this, because it's like, is it just gonna burst open, break the rest of it? I don't know, it might. Okay, get your cardboard piece, put it in between those so it doesn't glue together, and press it down. Gently move those edges out of the way. You can get some glue in there. So we don't have any light coming through anymore, which is fantastic. This edge clearly needs some help too. All right, new piece. I did also already fix this, as you can see. So with spots like these, I will pretty much drench them in glue, and then I'll put a little bit of resin on there. So let's do that. Get the area cleared away of its paper. That edge is at least a lot more secure than it was. I'm gonna let that side dry just a little bit more, and we'll start on the other side. Okay, so we have the fold edges a little bit more secure. Pretty much looks the same, but you know it's better. All right, while those corners dry, we're going to get the rest of the edges glued up. All right, we're gonna start on the treacherous edge. Start by lifting up all of that paper. I have all my outer paper lifted. Let's get some Mod Podge in there. This part's definitely going to be a slow process. You can't just put it over the entire thing. You got to do it little bits at a time. You can already see a difference. almost done with this top edge. I have a little bit left. I'm going to show you a little bit closer of exactly what I'm doing here. And then I'm just folding these over. All right, we've got our top edge all glued down. So at this point in the process, everything's been glued. All corners look much sharper. And you could technically just go ahead and leave it at this point. But I'm going to go further and color in the edges and put a little bit of resin on it. You can go ahead and tell me that this is the wrong thing to do. I'm ruining it. It's fixed now. And it's going to last a lot longer than it would have before. So. The edges are looking so much better. Still got to do this one. So as far as resin goes, I don't think I'm actually going to use any on this, as it wasn't as bad as ones I've done in the past. So what I'm going to do is give the edges a little bit of a clear coat. I'm going to be using this Duraclear gloss to do the edges, considering it is a matte finish with the paint marker. So, yeah. All right, and there's the difference. Nice and shiny, just like the rest of the record. Here's the last edge. There's a few more small things I want to do with this. I'm going to get this inner part looking just a little bit better. It is complete. Here are the new edges. And on the inside, where we have our little patches, elbows, whatever you want to call them. There's one way back there. I think it looks a lot better. Do let me know what you guys think of this little record cover restoration, because if you enjoy watching it, I'm totally making more of these videos, because this is very therapeutic for me.